years. And no, this has not been going on for 8 years between me and him. No, not at all. 3, 4 years or something like that.
Legend has it.
I don't know, let's go with 4 years. It wasn't the whole existence of 8 years. Although he's been on for at least that long. And we've all listened to his stories and his trials and tribulations of life. And it didn't really sound like his existence in the Philippines was great from the first moment he came in. He shared the story pretty much. And the story came out about how he destroyed somebody's life, a woman. She lost her sorry store business as a result of that. And this is coming out basically from him. Of course, he reworded it, but sorry if I can't be exact on the story, but I think a lot of you know the story on that. So let's just get the facts straight. He's incarcerated because, well, he did it to himself. Enjoy the streets of the lovely Cebu. It's a lovely, cool morning. Enjoy the ride. Her cousin is the guy from cybercrime. I better inform him, because maybe he doesn't know that. You know, I listened to his broadcast, and me and my partner, we just couldn't help snickering on the lies that he was putting out. But actually, everything from what transpired actually at the court hearing, and everything beyond that, and what a tough guy he is, what he would have done to me, and everything else, and I mean, you have to laugh. What else can you do, really? Sometimes I think you gotta humor him a little bit. And he keeps on talking about how tall he is. Oh my God. I think you've seen photographs of me and him together. You even seen him at Ayala. And people were saying when he was sitting at the bar, they couldn't believe he was, like a munchkin, basically, in height. And he said, I look 80 years old. I look 10 years older than when we went to the other court in Bareilly. No, I actually look better. Time did me pretty well. Perfect weight. And a hell of a lot healthier than he is. Okay, Mazda 9, you're back. At the 48-minute mark on his video, he speaks of how he and his girlfriend discussed, going to the American Embassy on May 8th of last year to take care of his overstay. So he never took care of it. To this day, he still hasn't paid. He still hasn't paid. She knew he was breaking the law and harbored him from authorities, but that's a whole nother topic we won't get into. I know the story on that. It'll be addressed, don't worry about that. In other words, what you're trying to say, Mazda, is that he's a fucking liar, okay? Yeah, we get it. I get it. I don't know how much data I have left on this phone, so I don't know how long I'll be on here. She knew she was breaking that law and harbored him from authorities. And then he claims he didn't tell her what to do. That she made her complaint all on her very own without his influence. Without him telling her to do that. Yeah, we believe that. Yeah, like I'm 30 years old. I'm telling you, man. Oh yeah, he wants to get his channel. That's his concern? Is getting his channel going to get monetized? I would think that he has a little bit more concerns than that. Wouldn't you think? I mean, you would think, wouldn't you? What is he going to make on there anyway? Anyway, John Blaze made a statement on his show. I didn't send any money to Barry. But we know there was at least one payment of $1,400. And how much more is actually sent to him. Yeah. Lies, lies, and nothing but lies. Since I've been kind of out of the loop, and I haven't been how would you call it, say a regular actually on YouTube and just doing some sporadic shows, it's kind of upset a few people on here, but I think I'm giving you your money's worth the past few days. I try to do my best. But like I said, I don't really have anything to talk about other than current events. And even I'm limited on what I could talk about on that. You know, being that there's a case and all that shit. There's limitations on what I could actually talk about. He's got this grand future all planned out for him. When the truth is, he's stressed. He's overeating. He's not exercising. And he's very proud that he quit smoking. Well, there's kind of a difference between quitting smoking and having to quit smoking. And the fact is, his health has really suffered from it. That's a fact. He's not a man that goes for regular hospital visits for maintenance and taking blood tests. And then he says it was my money that got him in his position. Well, I thought I was broke. That's what he was preaching all the time. I was broke. And that it was because of my money that he's in the position he's in. No, he's in the position he's in because, again, he put himself in that position. There's nothing to do with me having more money than he does. Like I said, you either did something wrong or you didn't do something wrong. According to him, he blames the whole world on me and his whole horrible life. His whole horrible life he blames on me. How does that work? Hello, hello. All these guys waving to me. Filipinos waving to me in a taxi cab here. Yeah, Filipinos are friendly. They are. I've come to that conclusion. I wave to everybody, he says. Call him the waver now. He's the waver. Shit. Goes back to America, managed to get there. They should hire him as one of those Walmart greeters. I think I mentioned that. That'd be a great job for him. Greeting everybody that comes in. Hello, how are you? I can see that now. Make a respectable man of him. Get a job. Because, well, I definitely do question his so-called disability. Well, at least disability. And we were in action with a woman on his lap, remember, on camera. He had no problem with his back while she was bouncing up and down on his on his lap. He had no problem with that, did he? Oh yeah, his chronic cough sure doesn't sound like he quit smoking. I don't know. Zoom claims that I asked him, and he said he's not smoking, but it don't matter if he quit smoking or not. I mean, it's a good thing that he did, like anybody would, yeah. But there's still remnants of damage. That's not going to go away with any miracles. I'll guarantee you, if somebody told me on the sneak, they said, if he made it back out of the country, made it back to America, he'd be back drinking and smoking. He'll be back drinking and smoking. It wouldn't surprise me. But I heard his constant clearing of his throat. He might have some kind of esophageal problem. Some lesions or something, at least. I don't know. Well, we're not attacking him here in this show. We're not here to attack him. We're just here to present facts, as we all know and we've heard and seen on his own shows. And he broke the law again just by actually doing the live show that he did. He admitted on an earlier show where he had a connection problem and had to come back on live again. I'm really not supposed to be doing this. You're right, you're not supposed to be doing that. You got that correct. We'll believe that. You are not supposed to be doing that. But he did. Because he's not a thinking man. Oh, I have to go off camera for a few minutes here. I don't really have that much time on my data on my phone anyway, so gotta make a visit here before we continue our trip. Okay, so let me Doo-doo-doo-doo, scoobity-doo-doo, scribbity-ba-ba. Come on out there. You know, the other thing is, why does he have to always emphasize my lovely, beautiful girlfriend? Hello. How are you? So friendly with people. My lovely, beautiful girlfriend. Why does he have to be so descriptive? He's trying to prove to himself that his girlfriend's good looking, or prove to people. Well, see, the problem with that is that people make their own decisions on who's beautiful and who's not. Now, we're not saying anything bad about her. I'm not saying she's beautiful. I'm not saying she's ugly. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that. Oh, take it easy, boy. Take it easy, boy. All right. Whoa. All right, hold on. Okay, we're just visiting a relative here before we take off. It's a mama. It's a mama. Anyway, why don't we just bottom line this out? I think I'm pretty much said what I needed to say in regards to this matter. It was not a good experience for him being in a courthouse. I understand that. I know he's frustrated. I know he's stressed, but you gotta watch what you say and what you do. You only make things worse for yourself, and you're the only one responsible for doing that. I think my viewers would agree with me. You set your own future, man. You set your whole world on fire. What if you do get convicted? Damn. I don't know, man. You get out of your Motel 6 and wind up in Hell's Kitchen somewhere. I don't think you're going to like it, but that's not totally up to me. You can only give somebody so many chances, and then you just say, fuck this shit. And based on his behavior toward me, his attitude, is not deserving of somebody being lenient on him in a legal situation. And I think the viewers understand that. Do you hear me coughing on here at all? You hardly hear me coughing. I may do this, occasionally clear my throat because it's dry. You don't hear me coughing. You hear me sniffling a little bit. But in his case, his whole broadcast, he kept on straining his throat. And personally, I think the damage is done. Yeah, you're right, Mazda 9. His chronic cough sure doesn't sound like he quit smoking. He goes, he's proud of himself. He did a year without smoking. Well, you know what? If he did, and that's true, that's a good thing. We're not going to knock that. I think it's a great thing if he quit. But I don't think that he had a choice. like I said, there's a difference between quitting on your own. Well, quitting is quitting, period. Let's just get that straight. But there's a difference between quitting on your own or between having to quit. Because basically, he's forced to quit. But getting a little maintenance here and there. Okay, it's Mama. And we got the oatmeal for you. We got the oatmeal for you. Don't worry, she ain't on camera or nothing. So she's what, 88 now, right?
Yeah.
88 years old. Mama's 88 years old. 88. That's fantastic. Rob Cooper, hello. Yeah, this is a typical apartment in the city with a lot of Filipinos. I'm not going to show you the inside of the house. I'll give them their privacy on that. Apparently the neighbors got a few poodles. Whatever. Okay. Okay. Hello. They're new dogs, huh? They must be new dogs. Yeah, I've never seen them here before. That's okay. Don't get too excited. Look very young. These are puppies, basically. People are living their best. You know, they will never give up. Let's just call it a less desirable abode in here when you own it. And, you know, land in here in the city is a lot of money. I mean, they could sell this place for a lot of money. But they won't do that. Well, first of all, despite the living conditions, they don't really need the money. But they still will not give up their abode. And a lot of Filipinos are like that way. When you own something, a piece of land, or your property in a city, you will not get rid of it. I know many people that are exactly like that. They won't give it up for shit. Yeah, they can make how many million? And they can relocate somewhere else and have their own place, but they won't do that. I mean, I know what I would do, but I don't, I was not brought up in this culture. And when they have a place to live, and of course their jobs, or if they're working, you know, is in the community. And their relatives are around and they don't want to move out of it. They could move to a nice island somewhere, get out of the big city crap. Sure, they could do that. But they won't. Oh, I'm not saying nobody's, you know, ever done that before. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that a lot of them don't want to leave, no matter how humble their abode is. It's their home. It's their home. Yeah, there's even roosters and chickens in the central city here. They're all over. Yeah, sometimes it amazes me. It really does, that they know how valuable property is in a little, what you might call a shit shack, right? It's not a shit shack to them. It's their home. They're proud of where they live. And they're doing good. They're not broke. And they're happy being centrally located, where they could be close to relatives and friends that they've known for like decades. People don't always want to give that up. They don't always want to give that up. And I totally understand that. All right, so you sell your property and you move to an island somewhere, and you move into a relatively nice place. to be far away from family and friends. So what's the trade-off? So there's a trade-off for that. Not everybody wants to do that. Okay. All right. Hello, puppy. Oh, look at you.
Daw na na. Ito mo na mangit-kit na libang na sa.
Oh.
Mo lagi gawas na hindi kasi bilang kalibang.
Okay, we're going to be leaving now, so we're going to probably end our broadcast here. Let me ask one thing of my viewers. Just one thing only. Make your own assessments based on facts, not on what's popular on here. So it's maybe popular to knock somebody and call them every name in the book and figure they can get away with it. You put blame on somebody else. Okay, we'll see you next time. Okay. But you make your own assessments, really. You know the history of somebody, so you can make your own assessments. I think my viewing, a lot of my viewing audience is more intelligent than that, or have at least the intelligence to figure out on their own whether a square peg is going to fit into a round hole. I would hope my audience would have the ability to figure out that it's just not going to fit. Jack Doe says Frank still has that sucky voice. They're all jealous of. Whatever. We're all endowed with something, and some people just don't have anything. Just keep on remembering there's a beginning to something and there's an end to something, like life or like consequences and so forth. What's going to happen is going to happen, whether somebody might like it or not. The main thing is that you have to face adversity. And you got to face it head on. What are you going to do otherwise? I mean, seriously, what are you going to do otherwise? Let somebody trample all over you and your family? I was never a person to let that happen. It's one thing about me that's never changed all my life. Oh, anyway, it's been an interesting trip to Cebu, to say the least. A little excitement, a little action in the courtroom. Order in the court. Order in the court. Hey, that was on camera, man. They record all that shit. So if we got to go back to that tape, we can do that too. Remember, he's claiming that nobody had to restrain me and pull me away, when in fact they did. In fact, he was even ordered by a court clerk to be removed from the building. Of course, he says different. He's got such pride. Image is everything to him, apparently. I mean, how does a person wind up in immigration lockup for almost 17 months? Oh, I did it. He blames it all on me. You did it. You did it. No, man. You didn't want to pay your fines. You did it. Then he's saying, that's all I've ever done. Oh, wait a minute. Something's wrong with that picture because you got a court case going. What's up with that? You have nothing to do with that? How did you manage to get 5 counts of cybercrime against you? I think you left that out of your show, didn't you? Yeah, I think you did. Is the Switch guy Barry's legal representation? No, I think Mr. Swiss gave up on him. Even Popeye admitted that. I don't think there's a good future for this guy at all. Well, you know, he's pretty upset the fact that the recent court case had to be scheduled again, as they usually are. One case goes to another. It's not, everything is not taken care of in one court round. It doesn't work that way in the Philippines. This is not America. time is not on your side when it comes to appointments, when it comes to court hearings and all that stuff. That's not in his control or anybody else's, unfortunately. But the way I see it is, you had to do something to be there, and to have that extended period of time over there. I think it's reasonable to say that you have other things going on legally, like 5 counts of cybercrime. If you can get that out of the way, at least it'll come to some conclusion or something. Whatever the court decides to do, the fuck if I know. I'm just here for the ride. Damage has been done. You can't undo damage. Thanks for the 5 thumbs up there. You've been very generous this morning. We got 60 viewers here and 5 thumbs up, and that's a pretty good show. Thank you. Oh yeah, by getting monetized, he's gonna make a lot of money. What did he want? Oh no. If I had any change, I'd give him it, I guess. I don't know. I don't have any change. You have any change? Yeah. Ah, there you go, man. Wala sa paeng. There you go. You pick and choose who actually you want to donate money to. But, you know, at least somebody like this guy who's playing a little percussion there, he's at least doing something to try to earn a little bit of money. He could just come up to the car with his hand out, but no, he was, you know, offering a service, whatever, entertainment. You can't knock that. Whether you're somebody, you know, selling water bottles or whatever the hell you're doing, you're working. It may not be a job, or he punches in, but that's what he knows to do. Tell the drummer to get you a beer. Well, I don't drink. It's one thing I don't do. I try to accomplish as much as I can every time I come down to Cebu. So I can't go down every goddamn week, but I know exactly what's going to happen. I needed to finish off my lithotripsy, which is simply, you know, when you got kidney stones, it's just like an instrument that basically you know, you're awake, everything else, you know, it's not invasive surgery. It's an outpatient thing. You're basically laying down, and they got a machine, and they look at it on the fluoroscope to find the stones, and they try to break it up with sound waves. So what actually happened with that was that the fluoroscope on there or something, I guess, broke, or else I would have had the procedure ready. But I think they got the equipment now, but they just haven't hooked it up yet. You know, as I said, things move a little slow here. And I know the minute I get home, secretary's going to write me and say, well, we have a spot in a couple of days. It just came back from Cebu, you know. And now, Marshall Leo says his comments on the stream and his court appearance put him right next to Peter V in the clown show box. Yeah. Marshall Leo continues to say, in Alabama, it's not really very far from Missouri. Missouri. Where is his friend? What friend? I don't think he has any friends. It's my opinion. Nothing illegal about that. It's my opinion. I don't think he has any friends. So when we mention anything about this gentleman at all, and I use that loosely, it's really kind of like a documentary examining the human psychology of people in his position in life who has likely not led the best life in the world, as we can see from what he's actually shared with us. And as an adult, I guess he never made any positive changes in his life, and that's really too bad. If he decided to make positive changes, and somebody asked him what kind of job or profession did he have, he said that he worked in a waffle place, but he said he was a bouncer at a bar. Now, what's wrong with that statement? A bouncer at a bar, two attributes they have to have, one or the other, or both. They're usually a big guy. And most bouncers, you go to any bars, you can see they're usually pretty big guys, but are very well endowed physically, physiologically, muscles, girth, height. Or you could have a younger guy, a smaller guy, who actually is very well practiced in martial arts, or a combination of both. He claims that he worked in a bar, he was a bouncer. Maybe he meant he was bounced out of a bar many times. Oh my God. What a statement. Tough guy. Yeah, he's a real tough guy. His own mind, anyway. But, you know, it's regarded as entertainment because it is very entertaining. I would say it is. It's very entertaining. We'll give some credit to him for that. He's entertained people for many years with his tall tales, stories, and what he's done and what he's capable of doing and so forth. Always a pleasure to listen. I'm going to tell you one of the funniest things that he did. Now, I want you to exercise your memory. And I wish I was, technically proficient and I could run a video on here. But do you remember when he was being a tough guy on video, on camera? And I don't know if he was gearing his negative energy toward me or who it was at the time. He wasn't wearing a hat. So when he went to make his point and wanted to prove how tough he was, do you remember this one? He takes like a visor type of hat. It's the kind of hat that, is not covering his head, but there's like a little duck bill in the front and there's just a strap in the back. So he picks up this visor, I guess, turns it around like a tough guy when he tries to make his point. Does anybody remember that? He turns it around and starts getting tough and talking tough. So in other words, putting this hat on backwards makes him a tough guy. You better listen to me now because I just turned my visor around. Anybody remember that one? Try to remember that one. I really wish I could play it on here because that was really funny as hell. And I think that's one of the funniest moments, I think, with him, of trying to show what a tough guy that he really is, or he thinks he is anyway. When he took that hat, picked it up and put it on his head and turned it backwards, and his whole bald head was exposed. Just a strap in the back that adjusts the size on there, loose or tighter. And that made him a tough guy by putting this hat on. It was so choreographed. I mean, it almost seemed like it was choreographed. But you mean to tell me that putting a hat on backwards means that you're a tough guy? Wow. I don't usually wear a hat that way. I don't even see the sensibility of it. Unless you're trying to cover your neck a little bit, maybe the little duck bill, whatever on the hat there, is big enough so that it could shade your neck a little bit. I could see doing that if you're trying to protect your neck from the sun, but it doesn't do that well of a job. But turning your hat around backwards, and you see a lot of people doing that, it's like a style. Yeah, Sylvester. It's a style is what it is. It's a statement that I'm a tough guy. And if you got tattoos on top of that, you're even a bigger tough ass, badass. Makes no sense at all. You're either a badass or you're not a badass. And turning your hat around is, the minute I saw that, when that video was on, I did laugh. Audibly, I laughed out loud. How funny that was. by turning his visor around, he was turning into tough guy mode to make a point. I'm going to make a point here. See, I'm turning my hat around. Really? Is that going to give you muscle and strength and vigor? Really? I should do that more often. But I'll tell you what, even at my age, he wouldn't dare raise a fist at me. I'm a little bit more physically endowed than he is. Put us together, you'd see it. And I swear to you, when I was at that when I was at that courtroom, I was right behind him. Level ground. From that point, we're both standing on the same level. I towered over him. And he still tells people that he's 2 inches. Did you hear what he said? That he was at least a couple of inches taller than me. And he's been maintaining that thought for years. Even though pictures were introduced showing the difference in size. I don't know, he has a real problem with his height. I don't have a problem with my height. I'm not a tall guy. Whatever my height is, it's what it is. But I could tell you it's taller than him by about 4 inches. But he claims he got 2 inches. Gilda, you saw him in there, right? Who's taller?
You told her a little bit for that guy. And then the taller is not issue. The issue is your attitude there inside and outside.
Yeah, the issue is his attitude. And you know, his attitude is what's got him in trouble all his life. I imagine this is not a new thing of him just being in the Philippines and having an attitude about everything, feeling that he's above the law and everything.
Don't believe the talk, but you believe it. People there, they can explain why the attitude's like that. Why he's angry inside the court and outside the court. People's looking at him when they come down because he's very angry.
He's an angry bird, yeah. Why he's angry, but he should be angry at himself, not at me. Oh, if the situation was different and I didn't have guards, he would tear me apart, something like that, he said. Really? Then he said, well, out in the parking lot, you know, he could have done something and came up to me. Well, why would I do that?
No.
Why would I do that? That would be stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid is, stupid does. I'm not going to confront him in the parking lot and get in trouble. After all, we got a court case going. And by the way, the case is not against me, it's against him. Why in the world would I physically confront him in or outside the court? That wouldn't make any sense at all. Would it? That would make no sense at all. Because I have a brain that's actually still functioning, no matter what my age is. I would never do anything like that and jeopardize my case. And he knows that. He knows that very well. Oh yeah, I do this, why didn't I go? No, they did not restrain me. They didn't pull me away. I walked off on my own, is what he said. No, he didn't.
No, the fiscal still
The fiscal.
asking for the guard and the lawyers to
Yeah, the fiscal was asking for the
go
guard.
outside because they start another case and then his blah 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 inside.
Yeah, it was interrupting. Yeah, they were starting another case.
Another case.
And he was interrupting this case with his display and had to remove him from there. That is on camera on there too. Didn't you tell me, Gil, that you saw on the screen that they show the
they got a camera
the actual
facing
courtroom?
for the door.
Facing to the door? Okay. I didn't notice it, but I guess you did. Okay, I gotta go here, folks. Continue my ride. It's gonna be a long way. Hope you enjoyed my show. I know. Hope you enjoyed my show. And you just gotta measure fact to fact. You come up to your own conclusion as to who's wrong and who's right, really. You don't get there, you know, magically in a cell unless you did something. And as far as him saying, that's all I ever did, it's all bullshit. Even with evidence, he'll still say, oh, that was AI, that wasn't me. Remember when he tried to pretend to be his brother on camera? Well, he wasn't on camera, but he was doing a show. This is actually Barry's brother. I gotta go, folks. Take care. Will I do another show? I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. I don't know. If I'm in a mood, I'm just not feeling it, you know. And let me just finish up with all this legal shit, okay? That's what's going on with these guys. That's what I'm going to do. You want to find information out, then ask him. He seems to know all the answers. Everybody else seems to have all the answers out there. Okay, remember, I'm here because you're there, and don't have too much expectations on me being a regular on here. Yeah, I've been on often this past several days, but as I said, that's like kind of a whim. And since all this shenanigans went on in court, and I could talk about the shenanigans because it's pretty vital that he made, it's pretty clear actually, that he made an enormous mistake. An enormous mistake. That's going to come back to bite him in the ass, unfortunately for him. But he has a habit of doing these things constantly over and over again, making the same mistakes over and over and over. And I'll go out here. I gotta stretch my back. And he does this over and over and over again. That's what makes this guy very unique, but I'm not saying unique like in a good way. I'm saying unique meaning not being very sensible at all. There's just no sensibility to what he does. And he wonders why he's in this position all the time, and he creates all this negative shit that happens in his life. Hey, I'm just trying to live my life out here. I just happened to be on a YouTube show for a long time, and it was fun for a while. It really was. I was enjoying it, but it got to a point where too much adversity, and it just didn't make any sense for me to be a regular on here, doing daily live shows, even multiple. You got to come to a point and make a decision. Is this worthwhile continuing? Except for the occasional cameo or something on here, which I enjoy doing something like that better than doing regular shows all the time on here. Pardon me. But the one thing I could tell you, his behavior in that courtroom is definitely not going to help him. When he said that I just sat there and didn't look back, he's right for the most part. I'm here to attend a court hearing. I'm not here to get into a confrontation with somebody. On a court hearing that was established by me and the Republic. I'm going to sit there and just wait it out until my case comes up. I'm not going to get into some kind of physical confrontation with somebody in a courtroom. That's the act of a non-thinking man. He's in enough trouble as it is. Oh, the case had the quest for a dismissal had nothing to do with scheduling, is what he said. No, he was all about the scheduling. It's a desperation attempt to try to dismiss the case based on a scheduling. Now, if he's dependent on that, then, well, I don't know what to say. Then he's awfully desperate. It had to do with scheduling. He said, no, it had nothing to do with scheduling. Well, then what did it have to do with? Do tell. You're doing shows now from your cell, which you shouldn't be. Tell us what it was. It was scheduling. It's grabbing straws. You're sinking. It's grabbing fucking straws. Good luck with that. Really. I might have another surprise here this morning. Okay, anyway, let me go. Be a thinking person, not an idiot. Don't put yourself in a position that's just making it worse for yourself, because it never turns out well. It never does. It never does. Being aggressive in a courtroom? Well, stupid is, stupid does. Who does that? I mean, you see it on these videos on there, courtroom drama, you know? Person gets sentenced and they want to attack the judge or whoever, or the person that is putting him in jail or something, and nothing good comes out of that. They just get more time on their serving. Now, the judge is going to know about this. In fact, he probably saw it himself. He was in his chambers, but he's connected visually to the cameras and monitor. I'm sure he's seen this, and I'm pretty damn sure he made a note of it, or his court clerk did. So where did that get him? In a better position? No. Stupid is, stupid does.
All right, there you go. Another simulcast of Frank. I hope you all enjoyed that. Well, welcome in, Barry. See, Barry, I don't, you know, I don't do things like block everybody. Frank is a coward. I I proved that yesterday. Too bad no one was there to witness it. You're welcome, Steve, man. You know, guys, this interrupted Thursday night football. It's Thursday night football. Doesn't Frank get the message? Frank doesn't watch sports. He's got a bad back. He's been on unemployment. What else has he been on? SSDI. I mean, dude, the guy's got no room to talk. He's never held a steady job. He's a fucking draft dodger. And I hope you all enjoyed this tonight. And I want to thank Chris Travels for coming in, Dr. Pronkin Sapeto, Steve 25, 901. Thank you for coming in. Beach Life, thank you for coming in. Shah in Barry's Life, thank you for coming in. Silmar Kron, thank you for coming in. You really, Barry, your chip on his shoulder for look, dude, there's no shame in how short, tall, or whatever you are. It's what God gave you. Right? And Barry, I give you some advice before I go. Stay off fucking YouTube, dude. You just brought him back to life. You breathe air into him every time. Okay? Stick with what you're doing behind the scenes. and maybe you and him will be on the same airplane back to the United States, and you can have a fist fight in midair. All right, guys, I got to rock and roll. Thanks for coming in, and I'll see y'all on the next